Hello, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. I understand that this little bit intro was slightly misleading because it's not Saturday but Friday. But I wanted to put it in anyway because those of you that were with me for a few years, you remember that legendary Saturnian night streams. I'm not doing them anymore as they were happening in midnight. The time has changed for me a little bit, and they were done in different composition and mindset. But still, I like that old video, and I was showing that nice ring of Saturn, not just as a coincidence, because we are going to speak a lot about planetary magic, Paracelsus, specific planetary grimoires, white grimoires, they are even being called like that, Arbatel, and many others. But I see here some familiar faces, so welcome, Goetic Journey Explorations. Yes, I'm back. Mikkel, a long time no see. Thank you very much. Saying this, and Tia, yeah, great to see you. Saying this, I did this, I plan to do this for maybe 2 weeks. You know me, sometimes the stars are not aligned. So here I am. And I would like to discuss the topic that was already practically announced some time ago. So apologies to those that were waiting for the previous video session. I tried to delete the time, but somehow it's still kept on YouTube. And so if you were waiting, apologies. Now you can review the stream or watch live. So Black Cube, yeah, yes and no, but I will definitely touch the topic. Yeah. Okay. Why we do have it today? When I said yesterday or decided to do this video, I got a little bit like some comments why I want to do it on Friday, especially this time of the year. Some call it, like our Christian friends call it Good Friday, or previously it was called even Big Friday, and it's practically the major day for the Christianity. I think all of us know, but maybe those that are maybe watching from some Islamic countries or so on just know that this is a special day, not only for Christianity. It commemorates the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jesus Christ was, according to Gregorian calendar, crucified today, 2000. No, it's 2025 minus 33. Yeah, years ago, and it also commemorates his death on Calvary. For Christians, it's the day of mourning, reflection, fasting, prayer, and thinking about the reality of life, our position in it, and how should we deal with the upcoming year. But so me doing this video was, I wanted to be a little bit respectful towards the tradition. So I will be speaking more about theurgy, angelic forces, planetary dignitaries, planetary intelligences, things like that for today. Yeah. So and congratulations, Mikkel. So it's not only for Christians. Yeah, this day in folk magic, esotericism, witchcraft, it's also the day of silence and stillness. Uh, Predating the time of Christianity, maybe it's related to the return of the practically spring. And this is a day that was by some paganistic cultures considered a day when the dead were walking during the night, that was very certain stillness in nature, that also the spring is coming. There is some very strange energy coming in. So my return to the video streaming is a little bit symbolic, also like returning from long period of winter and being back again with you. Those that consider here like witches or sorcerers, this day, beside Christianity, it was also very popular, especially in medieval times, for cursing and binding spells. Good Friday was believed that it's especially very potent to do some kind of sacrificial rites, and that the energy will be multiplied by doing this specifically today. But I don't want to say that this is the day for doing this type of things. In general, it's the day of reflection, and even for the magicians, like when we should undergo some kind of internal meditation, transformation day, doing this, you call it like inner alchemy, I would say. Yeah. So what does it have with the today's topic? Yeah, um, it's a specific day because the person that I would like to speak about today is a very famous, by name mostly, person or personality from medieval ages. We are speaking 15th and mostly first part of the first half of the 16th century, Paracelsus. Paracelsus was had a very interesting other name. He's not known by it now very much, but Paracelsus was originally a scholar, alchemist, and magician. And he was coming from, or he was born 1493 and lived quite relatively long life for that time. He lived until 1541 and was very productive, mostly as a healer, alchemist, magician. And his name was, he was born in Swiss in that time, and his name was Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim. So he was coming from aristocracy, lower aristocracy. So Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim, it's quite bombastic name. I like it. And he influenced also my work and also recent workings. And what he has common with Christianity, he was a strong believer in Christianity. Although those that in his contemporary times did not like him very much, yeah, mostly due to his very strange and specific ideas, ideologies, and philosophies that we will get there. Yeah. Mikkel is saying that the name is drunk. Yeah, goddamn, say that name drunk. Yeah, it's difficult name, but you have a little bit strange true in the name, because Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim, although he was very good healer, extremely knowledgeable for his time, was also an alcoholic. Yeah, so his life, he was always predated by the demon of alcohol. And it's said that he was able to drink quite a lot, and a lot of heavy stuff like liquor, beer, and so on, practically on daily basis. He was a drunkard, some would say, but those were people that probably just wanted to shame him, because beside being the drunkard, he was saying that yes, I am drinking, that's a sin, but I'm doing that because it's very hard to look at me in this type of reality that I am currently in. That he was saying there are so many beautiful, more deeper and more beautiful things in life and in existence than just this looking at you, practically like looking at other people. So he instead choose drinking. Yeah, I believe that this drinking was coming also from his general, that he felt misunderstood So somehow had to vent his life and situation, that he was misunderstood. He wrote a lot of books, and we will come to it. So Paracelsus was born in Switzerland, and that was in that time his father brought him to the Benedictine order. Benedictines were monks, and he was influenced heavily with Christian philosophy and theology, although some even thought that Paracelsus was a monk. That's not true. Yeah, he was living in a very strange small city, very hard to pronounce, in so-called Einsiedeln. Einsiedeln. Yeah, that was a city that you can, I believe, still visit. And his father worked for the abbey. So young Paracelsus was grown and surrounded by these monks, and that brought his interest because he was listening. Benedictines were scholars. Yeah, they were discussing the origin of angels, the origins of demons, Satan, but learned also about medical teachings, and started to and become very interested in alchemy and in mysticism. Yeah, and during his life, he was polymath. He understood a lot about astrology, about all known sciences at that time. We can say that he was one of the most knowledgeable people in the 14th, 15th century, and he's considered a pillar of medieval magical tradition. Many of you know Agrippa von Nettesheim, yeah, his occult philosophy. Agrippa was a little bit younger, a generation younger, also from Switzerland, than Paracelsus. And we can say that Agrippa was fascinated by Paracelsus' teachings. So we can say Paracelsus was not direct, but spiritual and a philosophical teacher of Agrippa. From Agrippa, practically the whole medieval magic that is even affecting us now, yeah, is coming from. So what are these main things that practically Paracelsus was able to identify in his studies? Yeah, so he practically created the names for elementals, yeah, for the elements of fire, earth, water, and air, yeah, sylph, nymphs, yeah, undines. All of these are coming. The names of the elemental spirits are coming from these books when he's trying to identify the spirits of nature. Yeah, and he's in a way trying also. He has practically a seer gift. He is speaking about strange spirits that he can see in the forest, in woods. Then in the water, he sees undines playing, these watery spirits. That in the flame, you can sometimes see the salamanders, yeah, which are even now like these are four cornerstones of manifestations or spiritual manifestations. So these four elements and categorization. Of course, he's taking a lot from the Aristotelian philosophy and so on, but later on he defines this. He's giving this mystical categorization of elementals. So if someone speaks about elementars, these spirits of nature, it was invented. The name, the categorization was invented by Paracelsus. Yeah, but that's only one part of his of this. Yeah, there is another to put. I know it's a little bit scholarly, so I can also give you another small thing about Paracelsus, why he was so strange. He was he was of small build. We know how tall he was because we were able, or our archaeologists were able to find his skeleton. The skeleton is still intact. I will now not remember the cemetery or the where his skeleton is resting. but he was, I don't know how much in inches, but if you will look at it in the European metrics, he was tall only like 150 centimeters, so 1.5 meter. That was small. He was not very tall, even for a man, even for that time. And his skeleton shows slight deformities, like he was. And later on, when they took his DNA, the scientists were intrigued in him. Yeah, they wanted to know why, maybe what was the purpose of his death, and so on. And they found out that in his DNA there is a very strong genome, that practically he was hermaphrodite. By hermaphrodite, we say that he was practically a man. He was a woman in a man's body. Yeah, he probably he was not his reproductive organs, like semen, would be not able to. He would be not able to have children. That is very rare for men. Yeah. And even in his diaries, yes, he was practically a dwarf, not a dwarf entirely, but he was growing very fast at the beginning, but then his growth stopped. So he was of very fragile constitution, and that constitution was, of course, later on changed by his extreme intelligence, because with this type of defect, or how to say it, apologize if there are doctors, maybe you know the name better. Here, I just want to say that with this type of deformation, usually the IQ of the person is on the very upper scale. So we can only think that probably he was reaching the genius level, so IQ of 140 and maybe even above. But he was very frail. And we also know that he was not interested in women at all. He was not a monk, so he could have had some sexual intercourses, but it's expected he never showed any kind of interest. He was not leaned towards homosexuality, or no. It's just these people have absolutely no interest in. So he was saying, I feel strange inside my own body. He's putting in. So this could create a lot of discussion with modern within the community of modern occultists, like, but now we are saying non-binary and so on. I don't have a direct yes or no saying in this, but definitely if someone could be considered non-binary in modern terms, that would be Paracelsus. Yeah. But his interest was in nature, in understanding other things. He was a heavy drinker, and he was interested in nature, and he started to study, and started to be a master in alchemy, and become a healer. So what is his philosophy about? His philosophy is a cornerstone of planetary magic. So if I can say what is his magic system about, he invented something that is called astral medicine. Yeah, he believed that each part of the body and every disease is governed by planetary influences. That the planets around us, he was also master in astrology, and he was saying everything that you have inside you is somehow affected by planetary disposition, planets during your birth, during momentary disposition of the planets, and so on. He also said that true healing requires understanding of astrological signatures, and all illnesses are practically aligned and can be healed with proper application of correct planetary power. What he means by that, it's strange, right? He means doing ritual during the specific astrological hours. So when we speak now about what is the good time for the ritual, this was Paracelsus doing. astrological hours are or the system of astrological hours, the time of Mars, the hour of the Mars, the hour of Jupiter. Of course, it's older, but he categorized this. Yes, so that's a very, he was practically the first that was putting this in. And yeah, this is a good comment, by the way. Yeah, by O, that his hormonal balance, imbalance, great words. Yeah, I'm not native speaker, so thank you for saying this. Could have opened him to the whole range of perception of both genders. Exactly. He was fascinated, for example, by alchemical components like mandragora. If you see the roots of mandragora, they are like women and women and men. Yeah, they're probably he felt he was very intelligent, so he felt that he has this duality inside him. Yeah, so it's so he's saying that everyone can be healed with proper application of planetary influences. Yeah, he created these elemental spirits categorization: gnomes for earth, undines for water, sylphs for air, salamanders from fire. So even now in modern contemporary magic or in some PC games or everywhere, if you see salamander, that's Paracelsus naming. Yeah, but more importantly, he says that these four energies or four elemental spirits, they are cornerstones of nature, and but as they are very difficult to connect with, you have to go through the ritual of purification and attunement, not to force them in ritual magic, which is probably influenced by his Christian upbringing, because he's considered as a white mage. Yeah, he did not want it to do any black magic. But also it's true that elemental spirits can be dangerous if forced during evocations. Yeah, so fire can start, electricity, even earthquakes. Yeah, or so they are chaotic, entropic. Yeah, so he was probably wise to say that it's not good to invoke these type of spirits with force. Yeah, with forced invocation. Yeah. So I'm trying to move this chat here because this is okay. So I will try to reply later on if you will put something into chat, but it's not moving here in the main screen. Anyway, so he says that we should be careful by invoking these elemental spirits, trying to do it only with purification. So through meditation, preparation, working with trying to understand, to feel the element. Yeah, but most importantly, you understand that for healing at the time, these four elements, earth, water, air, and fire, they are also like they are using the medicine. But he also creates another term taken also from Greek medicine, and that's the activation principles. So if you understand, earth, water, air, and fire are the main alchemical components that creates materia. They are still passive. So you must have something like spark of first movement or inhibitor, and these first principles that activate those elements, that it's very strange to say, for example, but metaphysical, that element of fire, that salamander is a spirit of fire, but it's spiritual fire. But for the fire to manifest, you must have some kind of prime principle to activate him, so he materializes. And that overlaps material and spiritual astral realm. And he says that that the rule of activations, or the law of these activations of everything, why organism lives. If we are from four elements, what is making us beating? Is it soul or something? Yes and no. He says practically that these are three things that are making us what we are. We might be made from four elements, but we are made also from three principles, tria prima in Latin. And these are soul, yeah. Soul represents the passion, the volatility, yeah, our temperaments, yeah. Then there is another principle, spirit. Spirit is something higher, connecting us with the higher spirits, yeah. That's something that does the movement, does the communication across the spheres. And the third principle is body, stability, material form, yeah. But it's not four elements. So there are three principles. Soul represented by so-called alchemical sulfur, yeah. Spirit, that is represented by mercury. And body, that is, according to him and many alchemists, represented by salt. Yeah. So sulfur, mercury, and salt in alchemy are so-called principles that start chemical and mystical reaction. And they are both material, like sulfur, real sulfur, but also spiritual. I know it's a little bit difficult, but he practically says there are four elements and three principles. And during the ritual, we as a people, if we want to be balanced as a magicians, he says that we should have these elemental things in us, yeah. They are influenced, for example, by our zodiac. So I am Gemini, so the air spirit might be, or the air element might be prevalent in me, yeah. But might be good if I'm a good communicator and so on, but I might be unstable in some part of things. So I need a little bit of earthy element, yeah, which I don't have as a Gemini. I do have, but not in that consistency. And he says you can rework yourself, because as a magician, to be practical, to be able to affect all nature around you, to do divine spells, so-called thaumaturgy, we are getting there, you have to be a professional magician, and you have to have these four elements in order, and they can be done, make in order by correct application of three principles. You have to have your soul, spirit, and body in harmony. You have to have your sulfur, mercury, and salt in harmony. And if you have them in harmony, you will receive illumination. You will start to see reality as it is. You will be able to do affect material and even immaterial sphere. So he creates this book that is called like Magia Naturalis, yeah, that Magia Divina, that's natural magic. Why it might seem like a little bit very like alchemical, but imagine he's practically giving us his books are cryptic, yeah, but he's explaining to those that really work on themselves on internal transformation, that they are able to affect these things, that the magic works, yeah, that the magic works. So that's why it is very important also for later people like Agrippa of Netezam, and from Agrippa come others, yeah, and even up until Crowley, yeah. It's all developed by on many of these things are developed on Paracelsus trainings, yeah. So if we speak about his, he says, okay, these three principles and these four elements you are born in some specific moment of your time, and you are born into specific disposition, yeah, astrological. So something might be balanced, some planet might be up or ascending. That's a good for a specific skill you have, but there might be something in opposition, yeah, and that creates maybe some negative trait in your character. But it's not finite. It can be all. You can become the best part of yourself if you can put this body, spirit, and soul in harmony through meditation and complex mental meditation techniques. So, but who is, if we speak about, that's where I come to the planetary magic. He says that if you are in harmony in microcosm, then these higher spirits or these higher energies will speak to you and recognize you. So that's why planetary magic is so important according to his magical system, that if I am fine inside of me, I can also influence everything outside of me. The planets, that represents some kind of most movements in the if he, the planets can in a way influence influence your future. Yeah, so that's I would say like this. But I see that there is some discussion. Yeah, okay. So it's Christianity. We have here some Christianity seems like a carnal reduction of earlier concepts of toroidal mechanics and magnetism. The center of toroid is an implosive vortex. Very nice, but I will get, yeah, we can discuss also this. But Stuart Henry, hi, by the way, was he known to John Dee? No, but John Dee knew Paracelsus. Paracelsus lived 150 years before John Dee, and John Dee is considered Paracelsus his spiritual teacher. Yeah, so we are speaking about a person that influenced these titans of medieval and Renaissance magic. John Dee was reading all of the books of Paracelsus. Yeah. So a good question, by the way. Uh, uh, yeah, and always, yeah, Steiner. That's a good thing. Yeah, we can speak about his theosophy later. Uh, so if I return back to the idea of planets, yeah, that the body is a microcosm. It's a little word reflecting the greater universe, macrocosm, and macrocosm is represented by planetary imbalances, and if they are put in balance, it can reflect back in harmony. And if of our own body, we can be healed, for example, or we can become powerful in something. And the harmony can be achieved through alchemical, astrological, and magical means. So what are these planets? Yeah, I discuss a lot about it, but planets, he understood not, that's a very, these are, they understood it as a stars. They understood it as a divine bodies, not only materialistic bodies, because in his time they already knew that planets are real astral bodies. Yeah, they could see it from Galileo Galilei, and created the scope probably 100 years before that. Or not 100, but they already were able to recognize planets. They call them stars in the time, but he thinks something deeper. Yeah, so there are 7 so-called planets in magic. I know that some of them are stars. There is Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Moon, and each represents some kind of spiritual family of spirits, and also affects practically everything. Yeah, on the micro cosmic level, he says that, for example, planetary correspondences, like for Saturn represented or affected the quality of your bones aging, yeah, because he's the slowest planet. Yeah, so and also spirits practically of chaotic origin, but we can speak about this later on. Jupiter, the Saturnian, that the Greek Zeus, yeah, and Roman god Jupiter, the ruler of Pantheon, represents practically the order. Yeah, Saturn was dethroned by Jupiter. Yeah, Saturn represents the powers of chaos, or not only the chaos, because there was even Uranus, but Jupiter represents more order, and it can affect, according to him, your liver, your growth, your expansion. Yeah, but in negative aspects, if, for example, Jupiter is in not good position during your birth, it can lead to not this noble, kingly way of living, but it can bring you, or it can make you becoming arrogant, yeah, or on physical level, swelling, yeah, that's like some. Mars represents blood, muscles, aggression, yeah, but also proud, to be proud, to not be, so it can have positive effects, but it can also bring pride, yeah, or heart issues, because it's also very strongly represented by the element of of uh, of fire, yeah. So sun is a star, yeah, but in magic is or in medieval magic, it's considered a planet. So affects your heart, your vitality, sexual proveness, yeah, so ego might be. But if your sun is so-called burn in astrological zodiac, it can bring to burnout, to pride, yeah. Venus, we know, yeah, it's a beauty planet, yeah. Physically, kidneys, yeah. But in negative, if it's affecting you negatively, it can bring lust, yeah, sexual perversions. I don't say that they are good or bad, yeah, but you mean like you become a little bit like off, yeah, of these things. Hormonal imbalances, for example, yeah. Mercury is lungs, nerves, yeah, ability to have to speech, yeah, but in negative way, it's anxiety, mania, very very common with Geminis. Yeah, that's why I'm doing videos only once per sometimes. Sorry. Yeah, and then there is a moon, yeah, which is again not a planet per se, but it's very important in astrology. Represents brain fluids, fertility cycles. In Jungian understanding, it's subconscious. Yeah. If you have a negative moon aspect in your zodiac, brings instability, mood swings. Yeah. So all of these planets are considered, can be worked with if you are able to affect your mind, body, and spirit first. Yeah. But it goes even deeper. Yeah, because his philosophy practically affected later on the grimoire books, and I'm going to speak about these books that are based on this, yeah. But so he says, if you want to rule or put away the negative aspects of these planets, or we can call them like higher principles, yeah, of existence. They are not only planets, yeah. Each planet represents also, they are not good or not bad, yeah. There in magical grimoires, we have angels representing each planetary. We call them planetary intelligences. The planetary intelligence can be good or bad, yeah. But or chthonic, dark, earthen, and spiritual, angelic, yeah. And so you have both spirits. You can have demons or you can or Christian would take like devilish energies, chthonic energies of moon, but you can have also positive energy of both of them are working in dualities. They are needed. Even the demonic energies are needed. That's why Christians hate him, because he was practically apologizing some kind of demonic entities. He was saying this is we need our, Jung would say, our own shadow to understand each other's. There must be some kind of duality to things. Yeah, their melancholy might be considered sometimes negative, but it's also good. Yeah, because then you can clean your. You can understand that something is going wrong in you. Is a fever good or bad? Fever can lead to health. Yeah, it's a transformative power. So he's implicating that the negative spirits or fallen spirits are having this might have educational potential on all of us. That's why so many modern practitioners say would like to work with the Solomonic spirits. They say it's perfect. Yes, it's perfect if you can control yourself and not become crazy of it. But then yes, it can have this this positive aspect. So I know that maybe it sounds like complicated, but I hope I think you get what I mean. That but to work with these, so the planets is. It's more than just one angel or demon, we can say. Yeah, but each planet is like a dimension of something. Yeah, I would like to work and understand as an artist. Yeah, we can say. So I will be invoking the planetary spirits of moon, let's say, and I will get a visions. Yeah, and I can get vision about something dreamy and so on. Dreams are many times ruled by moon. So how it is affecting us on physical planet. If there is a full moon, you know how many of you are sleeping not very well. Yeah, because yeah, it has effect. Yeah, so these type of things are influencing us on all aspects of life, internal, physical. That's what Paracelsus is saying. But let's not forget that what is the key, according to him, the way how magician or practitioner or theurgist, the person that wants to do miracles through these planetary powers, what he should be working on, how should he be able to work with these energies. They will respect you only if you are already well concentrated being, if you are already in balance. So he's doing this soft so because if you are not, you will become predated only by one part of it. Yeah, you will become prey to the demons, let's say, or you will become dreamy and afraid of everything negative. Like so many, for example, Christianity is bringing, oh, demons, they are bad. Yeah, so that's maybe for another topic. Yeah, but he says that both parties are connected together. And so these tria prima, these three principles are very important to change you alchemically, he says. Yeah, it's his worst. So he says sulfur, the soul, the active principle in you must be somehow, he says that it represents your will, desire, fire, spirit. Yeah, so do what you will shall be the whole law, says Crowley. Yeah, so he's practically putting sulfur, according to Paracelsus, on the pedestal of your power, that active, fiery principle. I am the magician. I want something. Yeah, but we should be wanting responsibly, because if we don't want response, if we want something, just we can become egoistic. Egoism is egoistic. Egoism is another magical trap, because then you are just becoming prey to your momentary wishes, and you are not able to handle some kind of things like I want to have a lot of money, so I will start playing gambling. Yeah, that's something that you really are just, that your will is putting you somewhere else than you want to be. You want to control. Yeah, so then there is spirit, the mediator. So active principle is soul, and we have to have ability to connect. How can we connect with the spirit? So many of you or people on the videos are asking, how can I connect the spirit? You have to work with this spirit. The spirit is represented by Mercury, and it's called so-called mediator. It's this intellect, fluidity, transformation, communication. So it means the mediation between the body and soul. You should be reflective towards nature, connect with it. Magic is working with nature a lot. Yeah, so if I want to affect planetary these planetary beings, or speaking with the moon, I should understand how it works. Whether it's full moon, whether it's new moon, yeah, what is the position of the planets, and to feel the seasons. Yeah, if you want to achieve the connection with the spirits, go to the nature, go to the caves. If you want to speak with the chthonic, that's search mediation, search the place where both realities are somehow interacting. Yeah, and you can breach the gate. Yeah, through your active principle, soul, I want, but I have to have nice road to it. So that's that Mercury. Yeah. But if you have, if your mediation is not good, that it can bring, for example, some sort of imbalances, nervous disorders. Yeah, you were able to connect with the spirits, but you choose like wrong way, or you induced yourself with drugs and so on, and it brought nervous disorders and problems, health problems. Yeah, so you should be esoterically, it represents this Hermes, this alchemical messenger, this gate to the other world. So do it in a moderated way. The ritual should be under control. And the last is that you can't reach these things if you are not living. Yeah, you must start from somewhere to go somewhere else. So salt, the body, the fixed principle, active is the soul, the body is this fixed one. This represents you, physical base of things. So if you are going to do a ritual and you are unable to concentrate yourself, or your physical, you are going to work with some negative entropic energies because you want to feel how it is, you want to speak with something tonic, there might be effects that, for example, your heart rate will start go up. But if you are not in good conditions for that, if you are not ready for that, or you must go, for example, to do the ritual outside, might be winter or something, and your body is not ready because you are not physically training, at least moderately. I'm also, look at me, but I'm 45 years old. But so you have to have you have to be in the right body composition. So that's also important. You should be healthy, physically and mentally. So he is saying that this moderation, this control, this also want through this you understand, you should know first yourself very well, and then you can work with the spirits and with these energies. But Paracelsus is not looking to work with the spirit mostly because of that he wants to achieve some kind of money, or to be rich, or to have success with women. It's not his interest, from we have explained it why. So he is trying to learn. He is really going into this um, he's going really into this understanding. And once you go through this process of self-building, self-realization, you even start to realize that there are many things that why you want to do magic first, you don't want to do anymore, because you realize that they are not important for you anymore. So that's the path of the magician. And but it doesn't say that it's only good works. He says that working with the planetary energies can achieve everything for good, and also for so-called bad. So they are morally indifferent. These energies are morally indifferent. They represent demonic, tonic, and chaotic, and also orderly principles. I will be later on. By the way, this is we are maybe in the middle of the. I'm now going to speak about the grimoires, that how to put this into practice a little bit more. But before that, I want to tell you that I will be creating a small manual for all of you, which will discuss specific herbs. Because, for example, if you are working in ritual, also with specific planets, you might use, for example, for Saturn, you might use horsetail, comfrey, or with Jupiter, you use sage. Venus is rose. So if those of you that are interested, I will create like this small list of herbal correspondences. I can't put it on YouTube, unfortunately, because they don't have anything like storage for the file. So I will be putting it on my Ko-fi. That's a new thing that I have. So you can scan the image. It will be done for free. I am not asking for anything for that. So you will find the follow-upping documentation later on when I will post it on Coffee. Read this and then you can check. Yeah, so he was, because on the ritual he was practically using with a uh, lot of herbs. Yeah. Other thing is that let's say, let's speak a little bit about the grimoires, and then I will return to practice. Yeah, so Paracelsus is not known for creating any type of grimoire as such. Yeah, he created this theory. He was able to heal a lot of people. He dies. Yeah, the thing is, he was never accused of witchery, because working with angelic powers, as he was saying, that, but they were planetary. Yeah, was not considered witchcraft. That's very strange, by the way, that in the medieval time you can be burned on the stake if you will be working with Goetia, demonic spirits. But if you were working with angels, that might be also dual, or you were working with planetary energies that that contain also like negative and positive things. Maybe it was too complex for the inquisitors to go into. That was not considered a sin. Yeah, in general, a lot of even like emperors and so on were invoking planets, but they might have been corresponding also with the dark side of the moon, let's say it like this. But for that, it was not considered a sin. So he was never accused of witchery. And he created a lot of books. Unfortunately, very few of them are translated into English. Still in Latin, De Rerum Natura, let's say, yeah. But some of them, of course, are translated to German. But I don't know much about other translations. It's almost unreadable. For me, my German is very, very average. It's impossible for me to read it. It's this medieval sort of German. But in recent years, I think there was a translation of Paracelsus' works into contemporary German. Still difficult for me to read, but you can some passages can be read. But in English, I believe there is maybe some of you will know. If you know about Paracelsus translations in English, I will be very happy if you can point me out to them. So Paracelsus dies, but it's not over. Yeah, like Mikhail was asking here. Sorry, like Stuart Henry was asking that. Whether he know John Dee and so on, not directly, but there were others. There were his so-called students that started to putting his work into practice. And one of those practically most famous white grimoire, it was called White Grimoire. It's not very white, yeah, but it was called White Grimoire because it wanted to elude Inquisition and so on. It was saying it's speaking with the celestial energies created by God. Yeah, so we are not doing anything wrong. It was done for more for very educated, academical, high-level magic. Yeah, it did not contain any type of rituals like how to create gold, yeah, or how to find a treasure. All of these smaller spells were considered dark, yeah, that you have to speak with the devil first to get some money. But celestial magic, yeah, to try to better yourself through the influences of the planets, although they can contain like polar energies, that was considered no one would even be interested in general populace. So that was considered like a very high level posh magic, let's say, in that times. And the name of the book is Arbatel. Arbatel is famous grimoire. It's practically one of the oldest grimoires of the Renaissance period. So, and the book is called Arbatel, Concerning the Magic of the Ancients. By ancients, we understand the stars or the seven planets. Yeah, they understood them as a stars. Yeah. So and the recent translation that I would really recommend to all of you is on Amazon. It's not that crazy expensive book that you pay, I don't know, $150 like now they are selling on so many occult libraries. Just put it into the nice paper and golden enable, these very expensive books, and sometimes the topic or the subject is just regurgitated. Yeah, so this is a book that you can buy on Amazon. Yeah, by Joseph H. Peterson, a scholar. Yeah, that does the modern translation. If you don't want to buy the Arbatel, you can find it for free on the internet. Yeah, the original translated meaning to English is for free. It can be found on many. But I bought this nice book, and it describes 7 planetary spirits, so-called Olympian spirits, because they are named on according to the Olympian pantheon, Jupiter, Saturn, and so on. And they are called in that grimoire in different way, but the books practically says that if you go through this application of the soul, body, spirit, like Paracelsus says, if you work yourself on your internal cleansing of you, who I am, this introspection, if you become really your true self, then you are ready through a ritual that is described here, mostly specific Latin and Greek prayers, connect with these spirits and achieve practically everything in your life. It's called theurgy, high magic. You can not even influence yourself, but others, whole epochs, time, do with do practically things that are absolutely beyond any standard small rituals of magic. Just to give you a little bit like so what type of what are these planetary intelligences? Yeah, so he creates names for them, and we don't know who is the author. We think that this is someone like students of Paracelsus, but it's anonymous. But you can see these are the sigils of those planetary Olympic spirits. Let's call them Olympic spirits. And you have to have this preparation. Might take a few years, yeah, like to be like totally ready for that. Yeah, but he gives them names. So sun is represented by Och. Yeah, moon is represented by Fool. Ophiel is Mercury. Venus is Haget, Phalak is Mars, Jupiter is represented by Betor, and Saturn by Aratron. And these spirits are not like spirit like one, but they are like, it's like divine entities, not entirely angelic, not entirely demonic, but a combination of both. Yeah, so that's why they are extremely hard to invoke. It's possible, evoke almost impossible unless you do a lot of spiritual preparation. Yeah, so what they give you, that might be the first. Why should you go through this arduous process of for making yourself the best version of you, which you already want to be? That's the first thing, to be healthy mentally, spiritually, power, and so on. But then they can grant what they can grant, everything. Yeah, knowledge, favors, wealth, transformation. It's believed that they can prolong your life. It's said in the book, but they say that they can prolong your life if combined with certain alchemical techniques for hundreds of years. Yeah, might sound strange. I don't know anyone who did that. I don't know such people. If they are, They will never tell me, and they will never share. Yeah, you don't want to be in this world and saying to other people that you are 400 years old. Yeah, probably they will just cut you to pieces to find out why it is like that. I don't say that it's possible, but maybe it's spiritual. I don't know, but it's mentioned that really they can prolong life to hundreds of years, like each of them. They can affect time. They can make people youth again, young again. They can affect. They can make miracles. Yeah, so if someone is working, for example, with Betor, which is the spirit or Olympic spirit of Jupiter, it said that it can bring the favor of kings. Yeah, so wealth is just a byproduct of it can bring power. Yeah, or but to have the power, you should be able to control it. That's the prerequisite for having it. Yeah. So sometimes these people that were very deep in the Arbatel workings were saying, during the process of me working with Betor, not me, but I knew a practitioner that tried to indirectly, that wanted to speak to the Betor because he was working in a corporate position and wanted to achieve very high executive status and become very influential in a larger company. And the person, practically vice president or CEO levels, yeah. So the person was saying that the preparation for the ritual took him 6 years, and after he was able to connect with the entity, or not even entity, with the energy or the current, it really told him, like, so what should I grant you? For what do you want? What should I grant you? And the person at that moment said, I just wanted to meet you. In that moment of all of those preparations, he realized that his initial wish to become super powerful and famous in some business environment is not relevant to him anymore, because he has everything inside. It's very strange, but it really, I don't want to say that this is a good thing or bad thing, but that was what I was told or witnessed. And the person absolutely transformed itself. Yeah, he becomes successful anyway. Yeah, but the connection, because that energy works with you indirectly even during that moment. You practically don't need this. It's crescendo of the whole ritual to connect with that spirit. Yeah, but it's the path is what is important there. So, but yes, it said that they can grant everything. Yeah. Speaking about what their power is, it said that they have under their command millions of spirits. Yeah, both angelic and demonic. So we have to understand that oak or beetle, they are not like real spirits. Yeah, maybe they can maybe they can manifest in a way in your subconscious somehow, but they represent more like really like entities. Yeah, like it's beyond the spirit. Yeah, it's more like macrocosmic energy that can manifest a lot of things. And in these books, he said, you don't need any other book. You don't need any other grimoire. Yeah, it's everything in. If you can master the work with the planetary energies, then you can have everything. Yeah, for instance, Betor, which is I mentioned the Jupiter, as I said, millions of spirits. So in the book, it said that he rules over 42 kings. 42 kings. So in Solomonic grimoires, like Lesser Key of Solomon, we know that we have like several kings. but each of the kings have another divisions and divisions of spirits. So Batteries rules over 42 kings, 35 princes, and thousands of other spirits ranked that rule over other spirits. He can bring wealth, healing, honor, and transformation on a Jupiterian scale. So it's godlike powers. Yeah. But Arbatel is not the only one, because Arbatel was so popular. Arbatel is from the 1565. Yeah, it was the first edition is we think that it's from the 1565. It was done. It was created in the Swiss city of Basel, but might be misleading for those bibliophiles here like me. If you read, or if you found in some old manuscript or book, still they can be found for decent amount of money. Yeah, some they are not that expensive. They are expensive, but not like astronomical expensive. So you can still find like our old Arbatel. It might cost. It's expensive. Yeah, it can cost $2,000 to $10,000. Yeah, but it's the original from the 16th century. If you are very, very lucky. Yeah, because there were like a lot of productions, mostly from the 19th century and so on. I don't have such book. Yeah, it's expensive for me, but anyway, it's not that it costs millions of dollars. And almost all of these books, like from the 15th to 18th century, when you read the first page in Latin or German, mostly, it's like produced, or this is coming from Swiss, because it was neutral country. And actually, they are not from Swiss. They were made, many of them, maybe some of them are, but in that area there was no Inquisition. Yeah, so the anonymous authors that wanted to create a book, for example, in somewhere in Spain, or in Catholic lands, in Austria and so on, they would get into very deep problems if they would say, oh, this is from Vienna, by the way. Yeah, and I am the author. So the Inquisition will be knocking on his door in few days. So they put it like, this is an export. It comes from Swiss. So so many books are, or also from Catalonia in Spain, because that was like they said that Arabs did that, or Jews did that. Yeah, it's not our production. So we have to take it with a grain of salt whether this book was really from the origin of the Arbatel is really from Basel. But that's just one. Maybe not interesting for some, for you, but it's interesting to know that if you will see some old book, it does not have to be from where it says it is, to avoid the Inquisition. And but we know that the 1565 is probably true, because in 1583. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The frequency. This is very nice gesture. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. So if we say that, why we know that it's from the 1565, so maybe 30 years after Paracelsus died, because another famous book in that time is speaking about Arbatel, and that's namely it's Johann Weyer. Johann Weyer was famous public a person that wrote a very famous book at that time. It was called De Prestigiis Demonum. He hated magic, and he wrote a book where he wanted to make like to say that all of this is just a crazy thing, nothing like that exists. Yeah, and in this prestigious demonon, he's writing the name like Belial, Asmodeus, and putting these nice pictures that we see already in, for example, in the Lesser Key of Solomon, because they were taken from the prestige demonon and put into the real grimoires because those pictures of demons were so nice. So many people that are now invoking, they see it in the way like that Johann Weyer was writing, but Johann Weyer would be so angry about this because he was like, this is all, sorry for my saying, it's like bullshit. Yeah, it's not true. These people are worshiping some crazy things, and he wanted to put to describe these demons like that they are made from spider and a cow's head, wolf's head, and so on. Asmodeus, for example, if you look in Lesser Key of Solomon, part of his head is dragon. Yeah, part of his face, he has these legs, fumes coming around him. That's from Johann Weyer's book, The Prestigis Demonum, and it was he tried to caricaturize the demons, but it went totally opposite. The people that were reading those his book, the pictures were so suggestive that they started to believe that it's really true, that he must have been inspired, although that he was saying everything against the demons, that practically he was inspired, and he created these descriptions, and in his book where he's like describing all of these bad books going at the time, because in the 16th century it's a lot of these grimoires are starting with the Renaissance, with the development of printing machines. Yeah, so he is describing Arbatel, and he is an intelligent person. He does not like Arbatel as well. He says like, oh, but you know, there are some that are trying to hide, saying that they don't work with the demons, but still they work with the demon, like this infamous Arbatel. And he wrote it in the 1585. So that's why we think that if Arbatel here is written in that it says that it's from 1565, 20 years before, it's probably true. We don't know whether it's from Swiss, but we know that it's probably that old. That makes Arbatel one of the oldest, if not the one of the oldest Renaissance grimoire in the world, in the Western. There are some others. Yeah, there are other ones that were translated from Arabic. Picatrix. I made a video about it. If you are interested, I made a video about Picatrix. That one is older. Yeah, but Arbatel, a white grimoire, the old, and from grimoires, speaking about theurgy or white magic, this is the oldest grimoire of them all. Yeah, so it speaks about the seven spirits, but it was it was a bestseller in the time of the 16th century. It's become so popular, mostly within the scholars, very rich feudals, yeah, that were living in the time. Everyone wanted to be powerful, everyone wanted to be famous, everyone wanted to contact Beater. I believe 99.5% of those people were not able to do it, because, as Paracelsus was saying 30 years before, you have to be really prepared for such grand conjuration. Yeah, that's really internally. It's not that that's something that is transforming you during the ritual. Is similar with the complexity to Abramalin's magic. Abramalin's book is not that old. Like it says that the source is older, but probably it is. But it's very complex to do it. According to Paracelsus, he's saying you have to have spiritual purity before you do it. Not Christian-like. We don't, but you have to be spiritually, mentally pure to be able to connect with the energies of and to influence practically everything around you. If you are a toxic person, you influence no one. Everyone hates you. No one is going to speak to you. Same goes in the spiritual world. Maximally, you will become a prey to some larvas, to some negative energies that just take your energy, vampirizing you, and you think that yeah. So you know how it goes. So Arbatel was very powerful, very very popular, and there were a lot of people that were trying to make money from it, because, and still are. That's why I'm a little bit always critical towards new grimoires right now that are being wrote, they say sell it for hundreds of dollars. You see, if you go on Facebook and you see like how much money they sometimes want for this old first printed edition, just $500. It has no real it has no real content many times. Yeah, so I don't say that all of them. I apologize. Some of them might be quite good, but majority of them are not. Yeah. So the same is Arbatel. A lot of people try to make money from it, so they create the true and right book of Arbatel. Yeah, they create, or the venerable book that and they even write that it's wrote by Paracelsus, but that's not true. Yeah, but they put Paracelsus in. Yeah, they say like, oh, it's to sell it. I got this specifically. I was a student of Paracelsus. It's even right now. Yeah, the same thing goes over and over. People try to make money from magic. I don't say that it's totally bad. Of course, if someone creates a good book, brings something new to the topic, does not regurgitate the things over and over, why not? Yeah, it's a living. Yeah, but yeah, so it's misused. But that brings us to, and I will jump now maybe to contemporary time, where we see yeah, sorry, yeah, I will speak about it, but I have to show this. Mikkel, you have yeah, 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 what can I say? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if I accept mentorships, I did before. I have I have Patreon, but I have to say I was not able to fully dedicate my time to people that are there. So I don't say that I will be not doing mentorships anytime, never ever. I can, but I'm not directly, like, what I am trying to do is sometimes maybe on Patreon I will do some meeting with the people, but I apologize. I right now I'm not very active in this regard. I do, however, as I also have to live from something, provide personal consultations. It's on my coffee, and I do tarot readings for a fee. If that's so, of course but and this, yeah, we can discuss. Sorry, that's I don't want to speak about the commercial part of this, but yeah, the book for $1,000, that's crazy. Yeah. So, but I want to speak about something that happened uh, in recent times. In late 1970s of the 20th century, uh, there is a there is a just to finish. If you are looking for my Patreon, the comments are on my YouTube channel, so the description of my YouTube channel contains the link as well. Yeah. And thank you for thinking about it. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so in the late 70s, 20th century, we see this occult revival. Yeah, it's cyclic. The stars are right. Yeah, Paracelsus would be right. Would be happy probably. It is. It is. Yeah, coffee would be better. Thank you. Yeah. So in 70s, people are, I don't want to speak much about the political development and so on, but we know Korea and Vietnam where communism is getting a little bit different. Yeah, people are looking, there are wars, everything. People are looking for the roots of things. Magic is coming revived again. Maybe time of Aquarius. Yeah, astrologically there is a new change in the disposition of the stars. A lot of books are being created, and it starts with whether these are the books of Kenneth Grant. I need to do a review of his work later on. or whether it's the rise of Lave's Satanism, or a lot of other spiritualistic movements, some good, some bad, some sects, and some totally creepy, some relatively okay. People are looking, yeah, and it creates the revival in the translation of the old grimoires and so on. And these trends continue until today. I think all of us, we are, beside all of the things happening in hopefully wars and so on, this was and will be. But for speaking for magic, we live in a golden age of magic because we have access to books on internet or everywhere, like these real true books, these gems of 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 uh, of Western Hermeticism, and you can practically get them on internet for not that big amount of money, or even if you are lucky, you can download them for free on some open libraries. These books do not have copyrights. Yeah, only those that are annotated by the new authors are copyrighted. So if you are looking, you can find almost everything. Our knowledge of magic is developing, and of course, not only old books, but also new ones. And I would like to speak a little bit about the new ones and more to the end about the contemporary authors that can lead you. Uh, how did Arbatel developed itself? Does not need developing, perhaps, but the planetary magic was whole topic was developed later on. And for a newcomer into this might be a little bit confusing, because we know that there are planetary Olympian spirits, but in magic we also understand that there are, for example, planetary intelligences, and these are not the same thing. Yeah, a lot of magicians work with planetary intelligences. Yeah, so and I would like to say a book that I approve. Yeah, it's a recent book by very famous contemporary author, very deep in the topic of planetary magic. One of the experts, world leading experts, Mr. David Rankin. This is a book from Hadean Press, and it's called Claves Intelligentiarum. I'm not like Claus. That's yeah, yeah, yeah. The book came later than my magic name. Yeah, so I don't know. So it's called Claves Intelligentiarum, and it's a grimoire that speaks about planetary intelligences. Yeah. So, what are these planetary intelligences? The book is relatively thin, but full of information about specific time for the ritual, how magical hours are working. Yeah. What type of positions and planets are positive and negative during the specific ritual. It also has information for even for the relative beginner, but remember that you have to have this internal training of the three principles, as Paracelsus is saying. But how to work with swords, yeah, circles, protections, because planetary intelligences are no does not have to be on working with Olympic spirits. Remember, these are neutral energies, can be positive and negative in specific aspects. Working with Claves Intelligentiarum is for those of you that would like to work more with the angelic powers. We have this Big Friday, yeah, so I'm speaking about the more about the white grimoires and angelic and theurgic grimoires. This is a good thing. So if you want to work more with angelic energies, that should bring a little bit harmony in your life. Yeah. Not that tonic, that not I know that how we are always pulled to know our shadow, working with tonic energies, but this is more on the light side, but not that naive light side. Yeah, like let's have flowers and so on. This is like really connecting with planetary intelligences on that angelic angel of that angelical sphere. but you need protection anyway, because such ritual is creating a lot of it's bringing attention of a lot of other spirits that might be maybe trying to interrupt your ritual, larvas and so on. You are producing a lot of astral light during that, so preparation is very important. So it's not that easy, but David Rankin is really providing very nice overview on how to do it. But maybe you will be asking thing like, what is the difference between these Olympic spirits in Arbatel and what is this planetary intelligences by David Rankin? By the way, David Rankin did not invented this. Yeah, that's planetary intelligences are used in many other grimoires, and they say that yes, each Olympic spirit, this macro energetical area, Jupiter and so on, has positive and negative aspects. So the demonic seal and angelic seal. That's where John Dee comes to play. Yeah, John Dee was really creating these angelological books. Yeah, practically where he says that there are positive and negative geniuses of each planet. Yeah, 72 these spirits and 72 positive and 72 negative spirits for each planet, and so also so genius of Mercury, genius of but they have all their own sigillums, yeah, symbols. David Rankin even you see here are the sigils of the angelic powers, the positive ones, but he also explains about the negative ones, how you can but so we can understand planetary intelligence as a little bit more direct manifestation of the Olympic spirit, because the Olympic spirit is it's more like it's like if you are working with some kind of current, voodoo current, yeah, planetary or something that has specific it's even more, it's not even current, it's like it's too metaphysical, but they can represent itself by the planetary intelligence, whether good or bad. So this is more practical magic. You don't need to, it's easier to evoke than to work with Arbatel, but still complicated. And he says planetary intelligences are meant not only by David Rankin. Yeah, they are already mentioned by Agrippa of Nettesheim in his it's a part of medieval angelic magic. Yeah, he says that these are the divine agents of everything, of nature. Yeah, they can bring. They are components of order in our world. Yeah, they can also heal in a little bit still strong scale, but maybe not that thaumaturgical miracle making like Olympic spirits, but very strong still. It can be used for harmonization, elevation of things, can be used for protection, yeah, in against magical attacks, very potent magical attacks. Yeah, we can say that, yeah, of course there are so many techniques how you can 99% of magic can be even if it works, yeah, because people are crazy, they would like to curse everyone on daily schedule, but 99% you don't need angelical influence, but this is for the these are heavy guns, yeah, if you really want to have like very strong protection. Yeah. So planetary intelligences, if you are working with Kabbalah, Christian esoteric framework, you want to work with, and sometimes we need it. Yeah, sometimes we really feel that we want to have a little bit gentle, little bit structure energies to for our spiritual growth. Sometimes we are just too tired to always work with this chthonic feelings, yeah, to always embrace. We know with Goetia we work with a lot of Goetic chthonic energies. Sometimes we just want a little bit of respite to see the harmony in the light of coming from the window, and you see these moments of tranquility when you really feel this blessed emptiness inside of you, and then you hear this little voice like this angel, this guiding angel in your head sometimes, I will speak about the third book that discuss this. So this protector. So if you want to have something like that, to speak with a little bit higher emanation of the energy, Claves Intelligentiarum is amazing. Please don't become trapped of the duality that once you have been working with goetic spirits, you can't work with something else. Yeah. If you are, it's two sides of the same coin. You just have to be mentally and spiritually clean, and you have to there. Then you will be just feeling different spectrums of the world, yeah, of the astral light, things like that. Yeah, so it's the worst thing is to avoid only one thing. Yeah, the magician works with everything. Yeah, if or should. Yeah, and not only Western Hermeticism. Take other currents. Take voodoo, vodun. Take African kimbanda. Yeah, there are a lot of spirits. Yeah, some are like this, and some are like that. Yeah. And exactly, this is very nicely said, Demonosophia, that the Olympic spirits like working on a macro scale, while the planetary intelligence is like working in a micro scale of the energy. Yes, this is something that you really want to have something more personal. Yeah, because with working with Olympic spirits, you are changing the trajectory of your life. But so you are, it's called thaumaturgis, from thaumaturgos, Greek, miracle making. You are changing the everything. Yeah, but it's going to have transformative effect on you, very large. But with planetary intelligences, it can also affect you. Of course, everything has transformative effect, because the spirit is not external to us. We are internalizing with the energy during the ritual. So whatever you do, it will affect you. Yeah, if someone makes you angry, you are angry the whole day. Yeah, so if someone makes your day, you have a good feeling. Everything is affecting us, but with Olympic spirits, as rightly said, this is massive. Yes, that's totally, that can transform you inside out. But we sometimes does not want to do these complex ways, although it's good, but not all the time. So planetary intelligence is amazing thing to work with. Yeah. So the last one, the person, how to do it. I will provide this also on my coffee. I will give you some meditative techniques. Probably today, tomorrow, I will create some Excel file, not Excel, no, some Word file or something where you can see it if you are interested. But the last book that I want to discuss with you today, based on the Claves Intelligentiarum, is another contemporary magician that I really, I consider him. He would probably, I wouldn't say like white magician. No. He wouldn't say that. He's a magician working with a lot of things. Definitely not white, sorry. He works with a lot of chthonic powers and so on. But he is developing connection with his inner diamond. If you are interested in what inner diamond is, according to my understanding and maybe other practitioners, please watch my videos about the inner diamond. It's not that old. I made it, I think, 4 months ago. Yeah, so it's a long topic like this one. So, but it's good to see it. And he created a trilogy called Holy Diamond. And the author is the book that I would like to refer to is the third part, because it's the most practical of the first, and the second is speaking. The first part is speaking about his journey, how he connected with his holy guardian angel. That does not have to be only like angel, yeah, but he connected with something. But it's not that dark man, yeah. That's another thing, like Luciferian aspect. I don't want to confuse few things. So he's working with this higher self. Let's call it higher self, and that's specifically needed if you want to connect with Olympic spirits or with the celestial intelligences of the on that positive, not negative side. Yeah, so it's very interesting. And by the way, we have very little books. We have so many books about demons, but we have so few books that describes the angelic side of the thing. We do have some, but it's only the last person that was going into the depth of it was John Dee. And then we have maybe this Mr. Strobel and so on that are working on to discover this, but we know very little about it, and it's still unexplored area. So if you want to work with this, the preparation phase to work with these celestial intelligences is the Holy Heretics, written by Mr. Frater Acher or Frater Acher, but Frater Acher is a German, so I believe the pronunciation should be Frater, like Latin Acher, and he lives, I believe, in Munich. This is a pseudonym, of course, and very nicely he describes his internal journey. It's like a magic diary, very deep one, very intensive, and that person is really through the contemplation, even Zen-like moments, he opens himself, and he works with chthonic and also with angelic powers, but more leaning toward Paracelsian magic right now. And it's amazing. Yeah, this book can lead you if you want to explore the practicality, how to do it. I recommend this. Yeah, that's it's made by Scarlet Imprint. The book is also not that expensive based on amount of information you will get. It's like, I think 30 pounds. Yeah, so support the author. He's worth it, definitely. He knows a lot. Yeah, so but to conclude, yeah, if you want to try something by yourself, like without reading all of these books and all of these things, start with the small meditation where you improve and power your body, spirit, and soul. Yeah, so this small meditation can take around 15-30 minutes. I do it. Yeah, it really helps me to concentrate myself, to find my own base, and it's a preparational phase for more complex work, and it can really help. So, for example, if you want to work on your activation, on your will, on your salt in your body, yeah, so that's the earth. Yeah, so you can meditate 15-30 minutes one day on your salt, on your body. Then you can meditate another day on your mercury, the spiritual empowerment, and then to work on your sulfur soul. Or you can combine it, but it's more for, then you have, before the larger rituals, then you meditate maybe for, you can meditate 5 minutes for one, 5 minutes for two, 5 minutes for three, basic preparation for the ritual, or 30 minutes one, 30 minutes two, 30 minutes three, 1.5 hour concentration before something major. So so for example, working with the salt, close your eyes and feel that your body is a vessel of salt. Yeah, you are heavy. It's this earth. You are stable. You are part of earth. You have these eyes closed, and you start to breathe deeply, and you imagine your spine is like a trunk of a tree. And with each exhale, you release tension and you anchor yourself into the earth. May you say yourself, I am the salt of the earth. That's from Bible, by the way. We are formed, stable, sacred. It's you. You are constant. You are it. Yeah, you are rooted to this world, rooted to this, to everything, to the environment. You are part of it. So the trunk must be strong. Before working with other energies, you have to root yourself. So this basic, it's sometimes the magical meditations are very basic, but it prepares you for the, never do a ritual with some kind of even the curses and so on. That's different type of energy making, but you should have the control. Even the anger and some brutality of the act, or if you want to do something negative, even that should be controlled in a way. Yeah. So but this is for the good things. Yeah. So internalization, then you work with the salt. The second part of the meditation is working with the with Mercury inside you. By Mercury, we understand spirit, this fleeting aspect of things. Yeah. So maybe you can meditate on this for 5 minutes. Yeah. And then Jacob, thank you very much. I have got donation. Thank you. You are so kind to me today. Yeah. So the second is awakening the Mercury. So that was the first. Yeah. Then you start after 5 minutes or 15 or 10. Visualize a stream of silver light, because silver, this metallic thing, like Mercury one, rising through your spine. We spoke about the spine before. The spine is very important because these are the chakras. Yeah. The silver light is rising through your spine. A mercurial current, let's say it, like liquid quicksilver. It begins to steer in your belly, Muladhara chakra, for those that are into it. So it begins to steer in your belly, then your heart, it goes up to your throat, and finally your forehead. Feel like it is animating you. It makes you alive, subtle, moving, but alive. You are activating the energetical centers in your body. They are, so first it was heaviness. Now you have activated the very well built, you can handle the energy. You have to have salt first. Without salt, we will die after several weeks. Yeah. So it's physical, but mental as well. Mercury is, of course, it's toxic. Mercury can be toxic. If you are too much elevated, if you are without the roots, the magic will end differently that you want it. Yeah. It happened to me many times when I was starting with magic. I did something and I got opposite result. Probably you did as well. Yeah, a lot of beginners do it because we are not rooted. We don't really, we want something, but we practically want something else, but we don't realize that we want something else. But the spirits know what we want. And whatever we say, we will get what we want internally. So before you ask for something, be ready that it's really you. Salt, and then work with Mercury. Mercury is this activator. And then you work with the sulfur. Once your body is rooted, your energetical centers are bright, flowing, then you activate the sulfur, the soul. Yeah. Then you ignite the sulfur, it's called. The will effect, that's the ritual thing. Then you will demand or want or put it. How to do it? You have activated that stream of mercurial current, and now your vision changes differently. You imagine your heart, and there is a small golden flame in that heart. That's the sulfur. It's your sacred fire. That's the inner sanctum of your soul. The most, sometimes we don't even realize it because we see so many things around. We go to work, we have we are angry, we speak with other people, we watch the TV. We don't recognize in this absolute stillness and quietness our internal flame, the corner thing from which it's a tricky little bit, because it's not like ego. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to just watch it. Yeah. And feel it. You have to feel it. Yeah. It would be a very long discussion to discuss what this sacred fire is, but it's a manifestation of our will, let's say it. So you imagine this small golden flame, you imagine this this sacred fire, as it burns steadily without consuming itself. It's there. It's like never-ending, perpetual, small, flickering flame, small, flickering, but steady. And you realize that maybe it will be flickering a lot. Then you know that but at the end, you realize that it's only illusion because it is steady. That's you. That's that corner. So it burns steadily until it's steady without consuming. That just is. It is your essence. It's your divine identity, let's say. And then let this flame inside your heart grow brighter until it gently, but gently, fills your chest. In that moment of that light, you are so focused on that heart and that light inside you that you forget everything else around. It's just you. There is nothing else. That's the pure will that you have. The trick is to understand that in that flame, there are maybe not other wishes or something, but you will realize that that flame, that you might, through this ritual, concentrate yourself to be what you really are, your true self. And with your true self, you approach the ritual and you speak with the Olympic spirits, or you invoke the celestial intelligences. Because when you will be working like this and you will say, now I want to speak to you because that's me. It's not just mask. Why have you come? Why are you asking? What do you want? Many times the spirits ask. And they see conflicting things. They see, we really don't know. Many times it fails. But in that moment, you are really truly what you are. And if you are truly what you are part of everything, and everything is part of you. You are part of everything, little bit this. Then the magic works. Yeah. I am the flame eternal, soul born of divine fire, Promethean fire. Yeah. So very simple, meditation. And once these three principles are aligned, then you lift your inner gaze upside. You realize upward. You realize that, imagine the sky is opening, not just about your head, but within you. You are entering something. Stars shine. Ancient intelligence. Each one is different, the vessel of divine wisdom. And now you visualize a silver gold-like rain that is falling from the heavens into you. The light coming from the stars, the essence of the planets. We can call it the tincture of the stars. I call it like that. Entering your body, soul, spirit, your energy chakras, your root, your inner heart, and you feel these energies that are there and part of you. And your salt, your body is strengthened. This is a positive thing. It's strengthening your health. It's grounding you. The mercury, this liquid thing in your energy, this silverish current, it's illuminating your thoughts and communication. It's empowered by these stars. This rain is empowering the mercury. And your will, this ignited fire, the sulfur is even more ignited because now it's connecting with these stars and it's empowering your will and divine calling. Let the light just be and stay in silence. And that's it. Yeah. Then you can say, if you want to say something, you might say, but you can say, like, you can place your hand over your heart. You can breathe slowly. You feel this magic moment. And you can say, I receive the virtue of the stars. I am a vessel of harmony, of things made of salt, of mercury and sulfur, as above, so below, as within, so without, so may it be. And then have a glass of water and rest. Go to the garden, feel the quietness. This is the preparational ritual. You can do it 3 days or 7 days before some major work, before evocation of spirits. Yeah, it will ground you totally. Before major evocation, you have to be prepared like this. Even for the chthonic or darker evocation, if you are going to work with the darker spirits, this is you. You have to remember your power. Because if you are working with very strong entropic energies that can bring a lot of wisdom, things like that, if they see that you are unbalanced, they will disbalance you even more. So that's a very small example, very simple ritual, yeah, that you can do every day. Yeah, I will be putting some information into my coffee. Yeah, so I think it's almost 2 hours. Yeah, I think to wrap it up, Paracelsian magic, think about Arbatel, Claves Intelligentiarum, very important. Holy heretics will bring you much more than we have discussed right now. And that's just one type of ritual. You can create your own ones. Yeah, it's not that it works with, but it's amazing what we can achieve, because it's not just visualization is very important, but it's not just some kind of thinking that, oh, I'm just, this is some therapy. No, if you understand that working with this medieval magic on Western Hermeticism is based on understanding, and we are part of everything, and we influence by our actions with our mind everything around us. So things, if we let them in, are affecting us, toxic or non-toxic. Yeah, and sometimes we have both of these things inside us. It's we can't avoid the darkness inside us, so we can't avoid maybe these positive things. They work together. Yeah, that makes you more powerful, and then you can work with everything. Then you can see the world through different spectrum of different things. Yeah, it totally changes. Yeah, and just do it. Sometimes it's better to do it, but believe this is what you are doing inside. It's really transformational magic, because mind is affecting your body. The calmness, the things are also affecting your hormones, everything that you have. Yeah. So thank you very much. Oh, I see. I was so nicely supported by you. But it's not only about coffee. Yeah, I'm very thankful for everything what you do. For me, I wish you let's call it nice holidays for a lot of us, whether Christian like, non-Christian like, witchcraft. This is the day of contemplation, so it's perfect day for working with planetary intelligences, to looking at your inner soul, to use these body, soul, and spirit techniques that Paracelsus created or taught us 600, almost more than 500 years ago, almost 500 years ago. So enjoy it, and hopefully see you soon. I don't want to promise something, but I would like to do more videos at least once per 2 weeks. And if everything goes fine, I might do a video about another titan of medieval magic, Johannes Trithemius, that was a contemporary of Paracelsus. And they did not like each other very much, but both of them have things to say. Okay, so take care. Have a great day.